Chalo, let's discuss sensitivity. And before we discuss sensitivity in costing, sensitivity in performance management, let us understand where is the term sensitivity used otherwise also. When I say say for example, I say that my throat is sensitive. That means when there is a small change of temperature, I drink cold water or I consume ice cream, my throat reacts. ठीक है, and then I have a sore throat and पूरा फिर drama follows after that. So that means I am talking about the reactivity of my throat. How quickly does my throat react to a particular situation? If it reacts very quickly, then I say that my throat is sensitive. People say this, Satyamed, you are too sensitive. That means you get affected by what people say, you get affected by what happens around you. That is the English language meaning of the word sensitivity. Sensitivity analysis in costing. Let's understand not just costing FM वगैरह in every area. Sensitivity analysis, what does it do? It attempts to find out how sensitive or reactive a particular item is. Okay, how sensitive or reactive a particular item is. Now, what does that mean? How can items be reactive? Let us try to understand. So, let us assume that selling price per unit is 10 and cost per unit is 6. ठीक है. So, naturally, profit per unit will be 4. ठीक है. Selling price per unit is 10 and cost per unit is 6. Profit per unit is 4. Now, my question is, if profit per unit is 4, if I ask you, will you produce or will you, at this data level, will you produce the product? Will you produce the product with this data? The answer would be yes. I would produce because the profit per unit is 4 per unit. I would produce the item because the profit per unit is 4. And I ask you, and when will you change your decision? When will you change your decision of whether to produce or not to produce? When the profit falls below zero. यार अगर नेगेटिव हो गया, अगर लॉस हो गया, तो naturally I am not going to produce. I will produce only when there is profit. So I am okay till the profit level reaches zero. जीरो पे भी ना मैं अपने मन को मना लूंगा कि यार नहीं, चलो, यू आर एबल टू सर्वाइव, वॉट एवर यू आर अर्निंग योर कॉस्ट इज इक्विवेलेंट, तो मैं अपने मन को मना लूंगा कि नहीं यार, ये चलेगा, दिस इज ओके. बट वेन इट फॉल्स बिलो जीरो इज वेन माई डिसीजन इज गोइंग टू चेंज. ठीक है. नाउ माई डिसीजन विल चेंज when profit level falls below zero. Now, my question, follow on question. हर आंसर के पीछे there is a question. And when will profit level fall below zero? Only change one variable at a time. Multivariable sensitivity analysis, abhi we are not doing. We will do it later. Right now, we are not doing. When will profit level fall below zero? One thing is, or one situation is, when selling price falls below 6 per unit. सी ये भी अगर 6 हो गया लेस देन 6 हो गया सेलिंग प्राइस, कॉस्ट इज 6, नेचुरली प्रॉफिट पर यूनिट विल फॉल बिलो 0, और व्हेन कॉस्ट पर यूनिट increases beyond 10 per unit. अगर कॉस्ट पर यूनिट becomes more than 10, तो naturally आपको लॉस होगा, and you should not produce, you will not be able to produce. So now my question to you is, how much of a fall in selling price can I tolerate? मैं कितना झेल सकता हूं? How much of a fall in selling price can I tolerate? I am okay. ठीक है, I am okay if the selling price falls from 10 per unit to 6 per unit. That means I can tolerate a fall in selling price up to 4 per unit. If it falls more than that, then I would not be okay. Simple नहीं होगा okay. So I can tolerate a fall in selling price of up to 4 per unit. So what is the percentage fall in selling price I am okay with? It is 4 upon 10, that is equal to 40%. How much of a percentage fall in selling price I am okay with? I am okay with a 40% fall in selling price. If selling price falls by more than 40% of the current price levels, my decision to make this particular product, ठीक है, my decision to produce this product will change. Sensitivity was reaction. Sensitivity was how I responded to a particular situation. So I'm okay if my selling price falls by 4 per unit. That is, I'm okay with a fall of 40%. उससे ज्यादा अगर selling price कम हो गया तो I'll be like नहीं नहीं, now I'm not okay with it. So my sensitivity is 40%. ठीक है. So my sensitivity, नहीं, यहाँ पे sensitivity of selling price. Sensitivity of selling price is 40%. Same thing if I talk about cost. Right now the cost is 6. I am okay if the cost goes up to 10. Cost 10 तक गया ना तो भी मुझे चलेगा. So how much of an increase in cost can I tolerate? I can tolerate an increase in cost of 4 per unit. उससे ज्यादा अगर मेरा cost increase हो गया, ठीक है, तो मैं बोलूंगा नहीं, अब I will not make this product. So what is the sensitivity of cost? The sensitivity of cost is 66.67%. Any increase beyond 66.67% would, then naturally force me to change my decision. That is sensitivity. ठीक है. Now there is no complicated theory to understand. हमने अभी डिस्कस किया, was not difficult at all. Information will be presented to management in a form which facilitates subjective judgment to decide the likelihood of various possible outcomes considered. Management will know कि भाई how much of an increase can we tolerate, कितना ऊपर नीचे चलेगा. All of these points the management will have a complete picture, not just a bird's eye view. उनको पता चलेगा कि हर एक आइटम कितना ऊपर नीचे हुआ तो भी वी कैन कंटिन्यू प्रोडक्शन, एंड इट विल लेटर ऑन ऑल्सो टेल देम कि इससे ज्यादा इशू विल नॉट बी एबल टू टॉलरेट, इससे ज्यादा चेंज विल नॉट बी एबल टू टॉलरेट. ठीक है. एंड It identifies areas which are crucial to the success of the project. अगर selling price 40% से गिर गया तो there is a problem, which means I should make an effort to keep the selling price at the level at which it already is. And that area has to be very carefully monitored. But there is one major problem with sensitivity analysis, which is it works with an assumption that one variable changes at a time. So at a time, you only the selling price will change, or at one point in time, only the variable cost will change. You know that real life doesn't work that way. In real life, multiple variables will change at the same time. तो in that case, sensitivity analysis आपको बहुत ज़्यादा help नहीं कर पाएगा if multiple variables are changing at the same time. ठीक है. It provides information on the basis of which decisions can be made, but it does not point out to the correct decisions directly. It will give you scenarios, but आपको एक confirmed answer वो नहीं देगा. It will not tell you कि ये करो या ये मत करो. What it will tell is you can tolerate a decrease in selling price of 40%, or you can tolerate an increase in cost of so and so percent. It will not tell you what you should do after that. It will only give you like a warning signal कि ये चलेगा और ये नहीं चलेगा. ठीक है. चलो, लेट्स डू अ क्वेश्चन. पूरा इसको अच्छे से निचोड़ के करते हैं इस क्वेश्चन को, सो दैट आपके भी बेसिक्स अच्छे से क्लियर हो जाएंगे. ठीक है. You are required to assess the sensitivity of the decision to the external purchase price. A manager is considering a make versus buy decision. ठीक है. Which is based on the following estimates. If the item is made in-house, the variable production cost is 10. The ultimate selling price is 15. If the item is made externally, if buy in and rebadge, then variable production cost is 2. External purchase cost is 6. Ultimate selling price is 14. You are required to assess the sensitivity of the decision to the external purchase price. पहले sensitivity evaluate करने के लिए let's see what is the original decision that you will take. ठीक है. So मेरा step 1 will be what is the original decision. ठीक है. आपका original decision क्या है? Particulars. If you make in-house, what will you do? If you purchase it from an external party, what will you do? ठीक है. Let's understand. Selling price per unit 15. If you purchase it from an external source and then you sell, the selling price would be 14 in that case. Less variable cost per unit 10. 2. Less external purchase cost 0. So what do you have now? You have contribution per unit. ठीक है. If you make it in-house, the contribution per unit is 5. If you purchase it from an external source and buy in and rebadge, then the contribution per unit is 6. यहाँ पे 5 है, यहाँ पे 6 है. Since the contribution per unit is higher in the buy in and rebadge option, the company would prefer to buy and not manufacture. ठीक है. Company would prefer to buy and not manufacture again. दिस इज द ओरिजिनल डिसीजन कि आप बाय करोगे, आप इंटरनल मैन्युफैक्चर नहीं करेंगे. व्हाट दे हैव आस्क्ड यू इज असेस द सेंसिटिविटी ऑफ द डिसीजन टू द एक्सटर्नल परचेज प्राइस. स्टेप 2 वुड नाउ बी टू असेस द सेंसिटिविटी. Now, to assess the sensitivity, I have to first of all come to that point where I will change my decision. ठीक है. And before I arrive at the point of changing my decision, I should first of all find out ki at what level is my decision the same. At what point am I indifferent between the two options. ये जो दो ऑप्शंस है, at what point am I indifferent between the two options? When I get the same outcome from both, then I become indifferent. ये भी चलेगा, ये भी चलेगा. I don't prefer one over the other. And when the outcome of both options is the same, I will be indifferent. And when will this happen? This will happen only when contribution from both the options is the same. ठीक है. This will only happen when contribution from both options is the same. Okay. So right now, why do you prefer the buy option? Because the contribution per unit is higher there. You will stop preferring the buy option and आप दोनों को equally प्यार करोगे. You will like both options equally when where the contribution of the buy option falls down to 5. ठीक है. Buy option का contribution, if it falls down to 5, then you will not prefer one option over the other. You would be indifferent between the two options. ठीक है. When the contribution from buy option ये 6 का अगर 5 हो जाता है, you will be indifferent between the two. Now contribution can become 5 under what circumstances? When can the external, so buy-in and rebuy option ka, when can the contribution become 5? When selling price falls by 14 से 13 हो गया तो, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट 2 से 3 हो गया तो, एक्सटर्नल परचेस कॉस्ट 6 से 7 हो गया तो, इन ऑल ऑफ दीज केसेस द सेलिंग, इन ऑल ऑफ दीज केसेस द कंट्रीब्यूशन पर यूनिट विल फॉल डाउन टू 3. ठीक है. एंड व्हेन विल, not 3, 5. And when will contribution per unit fall down to 5 per unit? When selling price falls down from 14 to 13. ठीक है. When variable cost per unit increases from 2 to 3. And when external purchase cost, or not and or, when external purchase cost increases from 6 to 7. But the point is, these are not happening together. Either this will happen, or this will happen, or this will happen. तीनों एक साथ नहीं होगा. तीनों एक साथ हो गया तो फिर there is no point. तो फिर the results can go in any direction. Here we are saying one way, one thing will change at a time. All three will not change at the same time. Huh? Only one variable changes at a time. All three don't change, or I would go as much ahead and say cannot change at the same time. ठीक है. क्या चेंज होगा? ओनली वन वेरिएबल. बट इज द क्वेश्चन आस्किंग मी ऑल ऑफ दीज, और इज द क्वेश्चन आस्किंग मी व्हाट इज द सेंसिटिविटी ऑफ एक्सटर्नल परचेज प्राइस? सो क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग मी sensitivity of external purchase price. So I am okay if my purchase price increases from 6 per unit to 7 per unit. ठीक है. If it increases beyond 7 per unit, I am not okay. So what is sensitivity? Sensitivity is 6 upon 7, which is not 6 upon 7, sorry. What am I saying? It is 1 upon 6. मैं 1 रुपी का चेंज टॉलरेट कर सकता हूं. आई एम ओके इफ इट गोज फ्रॉम 6 to 7. ठीक है. So 16.67% is what I am okay with. ठीक है. I am okay with 16.67 percent of an increase. Beyond this, it will not match. ठीक है, beyond this I will not be okay with the I will not be okay with you know any further increase in variable cost. फिर I will not like this option. I will be like यार ये मत दो, ये दो. Let me make it in house. So that is what sensitivity is. अब देखो ये पूरा calculation ना, you could have done it in one step also, 1/6 and you get the answer. But the reason why it is falling from the reason why we are writing all of this in great detail is because I want you to understand कि सोचना कैसे है. एक बार you understand सोचना कैसे है, then in the exam any question comes you will be able to tackle that question. सेंसिटिविटी के क्वेश्चंस एफएम में भी आते हैं, सेंसिटिविटी के क्वेश्चंस अदर टॉपिक्स में भी आते हैं. सो नेचुरली देर इज अ डिफरेंस. करेक्ट. तो आपको जब पूरा कॉन्सेप्ट समझेगा, देन इन द एग्जाम यू विल बी एबल टू टैकल दिस. बट इन योर इफ यू जस्ट गो बाय फॉर्मूलाज एंड नॉट बाय लॉजिक, तो फिर एग्जाम में आपको दिक्कत हो सकता है. सो जस्ट बी केयरफुल अबाउट दीज थिंग्स.